Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. Today is episode 3. I'm your host, I'm Raph. Welcome to Coffee with Raph. And I'm excited to get started on this episode. If you've missed the previous episodes, because this is a little mini-series on Abraham Maslow's wisdom, then I will link the playlist in the description to this video below and in the show notes of this podcast. And today I want to talk about the need we have to work hard to get to close the gap that we've been talking about, the gap between who you are today and who you are capable of being, right? So if the thought of becoming that person is overwhelming you, which is very possible, I felt it being overwhelming at some point also before I had the right strategies. And don't worry about it. Nobody is perfect. And in fact, being a perfectionist is being completely delusional, right? Perfection doesn't exist. Perfectionists often suffer a lot because they are trying to obtain what is, by definition, impossible, right? So closing the gap between who we are and who we know we can become is an endless journey. We keep learning, we keep going. The more we grow, the more things we understand, and the more we will have the need to move forward. Always move forward, always in motion. It doesn't even matter if there is no end destination. Today is the third and actually the last episode on Abraham Maslow's book, Motivation and Personality, and we'll talk about three main things. First of all is that nobody is perfect, no one's perfect. Second of all is the importance of gratitude, and third is your extended family of self-actualizing people. But first, let's start with the summary for today's episode. Like every episode that we do today, it's in 5 parts. First part is theory and action. Following Maslow's wisdom, we will demystify perfection, embody a state of gratitude, and realize that we are part of an extended family of self-actualizers. And we will take action with a really important exercise that will lead us to part 2, journaling. I have my journal here, paper, fountain pen. Grab your journal also. You'll do a journaling exercise, and we'll journal one of the exercises that we got from today's piece of wisdom. It is extremely important that you follow through and do the exercise with us. I will guide you through a visualization in part 3 to get the wisdom of the day to deeply sink in. Remember, we create the blueprint in our mind so that we can take action in the material world. After that, we will do our empowering affirmations. I will ask you to repeat them out loud. You can also get those affirmations, of course, in the free worksheets by signing up to the free newsletter, if that helps. And last but not least, I will guide you through a guided meditation in order to create that space in our mind, as well as what I like to describe as calm energy. And that will help you focus and thrive during the day. So I hope you're excited to get started. I sure am. If you are, press the like button. This always really helps people to discover the channel also. And let's get started. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the channel, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening to the podcast in there. This is our little morning show every single morning, Monday to Friday. We spend a few moments here together to empower us in living an extraordinary life one day at a time. So if this is interesting to you, please do consider subscribing to the channel. All episodes come with free worksheets I mentioned before so that you can follow along the exercises and the affirmations. And to get them, as well as these videos directly in your inbox, join our free mailing list. If you want to listen to these episodes on your commute or on the go, check out the podcast links if you're on YouTube here. And all information needed is in the description to this video below. Let's start with a quote by Abraham Maslow. I quote, "There are no perfect human beings. Persons can be found who are good, very good indeed, in fact, great. There do, in fact, exist creators, seers, sages, saints, shakers, and movers, even if they are uncommon and do not come by the dozen. And yet these very same people can at times be boring, irritating, petulant, selfish, angry, or depressed. To avoid disillusionment with human nature, we must first give up our illusions about it." End of quote. So what does that mean? Well, nobody is perfect. I know I am far, far, far from perfect myself, and I'm sorry to say you are far from perfect yourself also. And that is perfectly okay. Wrong choice of words here, but imagine if you were perfect. Wouldn't that be horrible, though? If you knew everything and had perfect mastery on everything. We would stop learning anything and we would lose our curiosity to the world around us. We wouldn't put our craft forward because, well, how can you progress beyond perfect? If I would be perfect, I would take it as a curse. We have been talking a lot about this gap between who we are and who we are capable of being. The one day I think I can, in fact, close the gap is hopefully the day I die. There's a phrase in the music circle that says, motion leads to emotion. But what about stagnation? That for me is death. So relax and don't focus on the outcome as much as you focus on your process, on making those micro decisions day after day so that you can move forward in the right direction. Remember the equation to personal growth we talked about yesterday? I'm not taking back what was said before in the quote, what can be, one must be. What you must be, though, is not perfect. It's in constant progression, moment after moment, and day after day. I have another quote for you from Ruminator. He says, and I quote, "There's no worse sickness for the soul, O you who are proud, than this pretense of perfection." End of quote. This pretense of perfection. Remember that, and let me know in the comments below how this reflects on you. What's your take on perfection? The next quote is also from Abraham Maslow. He says, "Life could be vastly improved if we could count our blessings as self-actualizing people can and do, and if we could retain their constant sense of good fortune and gratitude for it." End of quote. In our visualization exercise, I've often asked you to celebrate your wins, even if they are microscopic. If you want to be happy, start by appreciating the progress you are making, step by step. Give yourself some gratitude and learn how to give gratitude and appreciation for the things that surround you as well. If you can't appreciate, be grateful and happy with what is. How do you ever expect to be happy for what will become? Right? So if you're not grateful today, basically you'll never be able to be happy and to have peace of mind. So think about this. Last quote for today, I promise. And then we will move on to the exercises, and then we will journal, visualize, meditate, and affirm. I quote, "Self-actualizing people have a deep feeling of identification, sympathy, and affection for human beings in general. They feel kinship and connection as if all people were members of a single family." In our guided meditations we do here on the channel, I often talk about the concept of universal consciousness. That does sound a little bit woo-woo, I admit, but to sound a little bit less woo-woo, I give you this image of being the planet with all that is on it as an entity, of the planet being an entity. That entity is life, and life is what connects us all. We all are part of life. This is undeniable. On a conscious level, on a spiritual level, however you want to see it, that is maybe a little bit subjective, but we are all, objectively, we are all part of this big picture of this life, of this big family of life of people on earth, people and beings, animals, plants, objects even. This is also why I started a Facebook group for us to support each other on our journeys. I think it's really important to have a support group. They say, I'm not sure who says, I've read it many times, to who goes the credit, I don't know, but you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And I really believe that. A difficulty I had when I first started on this personal growth journey was to find similar-minded people of self-actualizers. Some of my friends would giggle a bit when I talked about personal development concepts and self-help books. So I was hiding it a bit. I know it's sad, but it's true. And I don't know if it's your case, and I hope it's not, but in any event, I created this little community that is still very small, where you can share your thoughts, progress, and more. Check it out. I will link it in the show notes to the podcast and in the description to the video. And it's just a little safe place where you can share your thoughts and your progress and get support from other people. I think it's very important. Let's move to our journal 4 parts too. I hope you have your paper journal. Maybe it's dedicated to this little show we do every day, maybe not. It doesn't really matter. You can also do it digitally. It's up to you. We got a lot of theory today. I talked a lot. I blabbered a little bit. So let's move into taking some action here. The first thing I want you to write in your journal is the answer to the question, how can you embrace your imperfection a little bit more today? I love this exercise. How can you embrace your imperfection a little bit more today? You know there's something that needs work and you embrace it as an opportunity to make progress. And at the same time, you accept yourself for who you are today, because this is who you are today, right now. That doesn't mean you won't be a tiny bit better tomorrow, which you will be when you make all those +1 micro decisions we talked about. So just take a moment and jot a few notes on that. Embrace your imperfection, embrace who you are today, embrace your starting point. Next up, I want you to write 3 things you're grateful for. Now, they don't have to be all huge things. For example, what I wrote today, this morning, was my family, more specifically my wife, who's doing an amazing job as a mom. The second thing, I'm grateful for today for the internet. Why I wrote this. I know it's 2020 and the internet has become so banal, but it's this magical thing that connects us all, I wrote. Without the internet, I don't know how I could have learned everything I have learned in the past few years, and I wouldn't be there connecting with you on such a deep level. That's true, I wouldn't be there connecting on a huge level without the internet, without the guys actually working on creating podcasts and YouTube and microphones and cameras and my notes here on this beautiful little iPad device that we take for granted. We should stop taking so much for granted, right? We live in a society of entitled people that take everything for granted. Let's get out of this together. I know that I'm a culprit of taking things for granted often. Third things I'm grateful for is my coach, Brian. He's taught me a lot, and without his wisdom and research, I would not be here teaching and guiding you guys in the process. So big thanks. You're awesome and amazing, and I appreciate you so much. This is my example for today. I write it every single day, so every day is different. Choose something big, something emotional, like, you know, your family, and then choose something small, like the guy that made this cup that I really like, that I'll never meet, but hey, I really like this cup, I really like this coffee. And I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful that I have easy access to a beautiful cup of coffee that costs me less than 10 cents, probably, maybe a little bit more. But yeah, you got my drift. So write it down. And last but not least, the exercise is to join the Facebook group, actually. And this is not a marketing thing. This is just so that you can introduce yourself and be part of this little support group. As we quoted from Abraham Maslow, it's important for you to be part of a group of like-minded people. Remember, you are the average of the 5 people you are most often with. So use this little community. It's still very small. It's very safe. Nobody would judge you. And we talk a lot about the books that we read. And we talk, of course, about meditation. And start a discussion there. I'm looking forward to hear from you. And I'll be there all the time answering your questions. And that's it. I appreciate you being here. So I am thrilled you're taking this program, this morning show, this podcast series. And here's to growing all together and supporting each other as a big extended family. Cheers. I hope you have your coffee or tea. If you're a tea drinker, let me know in the comments below. I'm always fascinated by morning tea drinkers. It does feel good, I admit, but I just need my coffee. So anyway, let's move on to our next steps, which is visualization exercises, our empowering affirmations, and finally, our meditation. So sit comfortably. It can be anywhere in a chair. That will perfectly suffice for my kind of meditations. You don't have to be in a half lotus on the floor or hanging up on the Himalayas. That is not necessary. And or just on a meditation pillow. I like to use a meditation pillow, as you guys know. And I want you to focus and visualize something that is imperfect about yourself. So close your eyes and then start the visualization. Something that is imperfect about yourself. It can be anything. It can be on a deep level or it can be on a superficial level. It does not matter. I want you to look at it. Look at it closely. And now put a smile on your face. Smile, just smile. If you have to force it, just smile. And appreciate your imperfection. Look at yourself. This is you today. You not only accept who you are, all of who you are, you know that you have a great opportunity to grow and to move towards your best self. If you're thinking of a physical feature, maybe you have a nose as big as I, your growth process here will not be to go and get surgery, but to accept yourself and your physical features more and more. Accept who you are today. I have a big nose, so what? Apparently, in some cultures, it means I have a strong personality. So give yourself and your imperfection a nice piece of love and warmth. Just being here and working on yourself makes you amazing, and I really do truly mean that, and I really appreciate you for it. So take your time, take as much time as you want to visualize this. You can do it a few times during the day if you want. Visualize your imperfections and learn to appreciate them and to see them as an opportunity for growth. Let's move on to the empowering affirmations, and then we will finish off with our daily meditation. Take a nice deep breath and repeat after me. Repeat it out loud, by the way. First, I am not perfect. I am not perfect. Not being perfect is a blessing. Number 3, I accept who I am today and I embrace the possibility to grow. Number 4, I am an amazing creation of life. I am part of life. Number 5, everything around me is energy. We are unlimited beings. Last but not least, my past doesn't define me. The actions I take today are what define who I am. Okay, did you get them? I hope it creates some emotion within you. As I said before, you can get those affirmations on the worksheets and you can practice them throughout the day more than once. I think it's useful. It's really good to do it very early in the morning. Right now it's 5:12. Very good to do it in the morning, but you can also do it throughout the day. Okay, so let's take a nice deep breath and start on our meditation. Nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Continue to breathe deeply. And I want you to start imagining a nice, warm light above your head. It is a light that is bright, that is warm, and that is slightly pulsating to the rhythm of your breath. That light that you've created in your own imagination, in your own mind, will be our tool to heal certain parts of our body and of our soul and of our mind. And I want you to imagine the light going a little bit down now from the top of your head, in front of your forehead, in front of your eyes, and you can feel its warmth on your eyelids. There's a very comfortable warmth, a very comforting warmth. There's a very healing warmth. And as you continue to breathe in deeply, in through the nose and out through the mouth, you're transmitting your energy to that light to help you heal within and out. You can now get the light to go down a little bit towards your nose and towards your mouth. And the warmth of that light slowly relaxing your jaw, relaxing your tongue and your lips, shining on your face, relaxing the tensions on your skin, making your whole head smooth and relaxed. Keep that light alive in your mind, and it can go down now on your throat, warming your throat and your neck, releasing tensions there too. I will leave you now for 2 or 3 minutes, and I want you to take that light and to bring it to wherever you personally need healing. It can be a tension in your shoulder or on your solar plexus, where a lot of emotions are stored, or it can be on your heart or on your lungs. And really feel the power of the warmth of that light which you yourself have created with the power of your mind and kept alive with the power of your breath. Continue to feel that warmth as an embodiment of the gratitude you have towards yourself and toward others and towards life. Each breath, each big, deep breath of oxygen that fuels your body and nourishes your cells is a blessing from nature itself, a blessing from life. And you are part of the entity that is life. You may now let go of your focus on the light, of the focus of your breath. Just let it fade out and feel the warmth staying within you and the healing process taking its course. Keeping your eyes closed for a few moments longer, Think of the people you love the most. Imagine them looking at you at the best of your potential. Imagine how proud of you they are. Feel how grateful you are to have them in your life. Let's take a nice last deep breath for today's journey. In through the nose, nice and slow. And the exhalation, gently open your eyes. You're ready to hit off with the day, so you can rise and live the best day of your life. Today, the best day of your life. Remember that you are what you consistently do, so make sure these actions are aligned with the virtues and the best versions of yourself. So if you're as pumped as I am to start the day, if you've enjoyed this episode, please do press the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already to continue to get all these sessions every day. If you've not done so and you would like the free worksheets, I think those are quite important and they're free, so may as well get them. You need to go on the website www.raphaelwriter.com. Simply subscribe to the newsletter and you'll get them directly in your inbox every day, Monday to Friday. Check out the links in the description. That's the easiest way to do it. You'll also get my recommended reading list, ways to get in contact with me for personal coaching, how to buy me a coffee. If you've enjoyed these episodes and you want to buy me a coffee, I will link it below. I need a lot of coffee. I do this very early in the morning. I'm a heavy coffee drinker, so if you would like to get me a cup of coffee, I would really appreciate it. And that's it. That's it for today. Or, of course, if you just want to say hello, I'm always glad to have a little chat. Take care. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.